Hey, good morning. Good morning, folks. Dave Lure here, and it is Monday. It's time for your Motivation Monday message. How's everybody doing out there? Thanks for taking the time to join me this morning. I am going live on Facebook from our Elite Body Shop Solutions Facebook page, and also for some of you that are that subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to check out the Dave Lure YouTube channel, and you can subscribe and watch these videos. We got a lot of them now. I think we're going on number 23 or 24 now. I'm going to keep doing these every Monday, and as long as one or two people keeps watching them, I'm going to be here. I'm going to come out and annoy you every week on Monday so you can continue to have the best lives possible. And the best way to do that is to start your Mondays off strong so that you can carry that momentum throughout your week. So I've got a really important message for you guys today. It's kind of, again, it's on the Christmas theme. It's we're out there shopping, we're getting ready for Christmas, we're buying gifts that we can give to people. And so today's message is really about one of the most important gifts that you can give to anybody. And that, my friends, is the gift of you. It's the gift of the authentic you. I have a very strong opinion that I believe that all of us were put on this earth to, and we were given these gifts, and we're intended, it's our responsibility to share the gifts that we've been given with the world. And that's just my personal belief, and I believe that very strongly. This is also a belief that I didn't fully acquire until I was almost 50 years old. So we all have these amazing gifts that we're intended to share with the world. So why aren't we sharing them? What is keeping you from sharing the amazing gifts that you have with the rest of the world? What is it? Is it fear? It could be fear, right? It could be ego. But for a lot of us, it's just we are not being our authentic selves day in and day out. So many of us think we're not good enough. But the reality is that you have always been great. Always, since you were born, you were great. The problem is that we just need to add a few skills to the amazing greatness that we already have inside of us. So what happens is we go through life and we have some painful experiences. We put ourselves out there. Maybe it's in a relationship. Maybe we're trying to get great at some skill and somebody says, man, you suck at that. And you build up walls around you to protect yourself from future pain. And the problem is when we build up walls around ourselves, some people actually call this ego. It's these walls we build around ourselves to keep the world out so that we don't have to experience that level of pain again. I hope this makes sense, right? So whether you're a musician, an actor, an artist, a body shop owner, an author, an athlete, we all have these amazing gifts inside, and we've got to bust through these walls that we have built up around us over the years from the mediocrity of the status quo, and they keep telling us that no, you can't do that, you can't be great. Look, you all have people out there that you look up to and you say, wow, that person is really, really amazing. And then you tell yourself, I could never be like that. And that's sad, because one of the biggest regrets I have, or one of the regrets I don't want to have, is being 85, 90 years old and looking back on my life and says, oh my God, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have got out of my comfort zone and become this person that I was intended to be. So I'm here to give you an important message, whether you're 30, 40, or 50 years old. Today's my birthday, by the way, and I'm getting into my 50s here. it's never too late to start being the best version of yourself, to start breaking down those walls of ego and self-doubt that we have built around ourselves for many, many years. All we're trying to do is keep pain from invading us. But when we build walls to keep pain out, we also keep the best of us from getting out into the world. You see how that works? For example, if you've ever been in a painful relationship and you say, well, I'm never going to go through that again, right? You're blocking pain away from you, but you're also not sharing your gifts and your love with other people, which could be an amazing experience for you, right? Because walls also keep people out. And that's what we're trying to avoid here. You know, experiencing life, love, taking calculated business risks, growing. These are all forms of getting out of your comfort zone and doing things that scare you a little bit and starting to break down this barrier that we have built up around us for many, many years. Tracy Baines, Eric, Maria, it's good to see you guys this morning. This is a subject I'm very passionate about. I hope you can tell, because, you know, as I get older, you know, I really think it's so important that, you know, one of my gifts, I believe, is as a communicator. And 5 years ago, I would have gotten on a camera like this. In fact, I was horrible at it. Some of those of you that maybe watched some of my early videos, I just wasn't good at it. And I was scared to death to get on camera. But I knew that one of my gifts was a communicator, whether I'm writing or whether I'm talking into this damn camera right now. I believe that I have a gift as a communicator to share these messages with the world. And I'm not going to let my fear of talking into a camera or putting an article out into the world for people to read or to write a book, knowing full well that I'm going to have haters out there and critics that are going to say, this guy's really annoying. I don't believe any of the bullshit that he's trying to sell. You know, those are the risks that you got to take, right? You've got to be willing to deal with some of the pain if you want to continue to grow. So what are 5 things that you should do instead of building walls around yourself? Number 1, you should show a little bit of vulnerability. Okay. Now, I think vulnerability has taken a bit of a bad rap. And when I'm talking about being vulnerable, I'm talking about allowing the best you to come out. The real you, not the fake you that you show all to your friends, you know, here in Brentwood with your, you know, BMW that you can't afford to impress all the friends that could really give a shit about you to begin with, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just being vulnerable, being the best version of you. I don't want to hear about all your personal problems on social media. That's not being vulnerable. That's being a pussy. Now, that's not what I'm talking about here. Vulnerability is power. Think about that. Vulnerability is power. It's allowing you to not need to be perfect around other people. That was a big problem that I had in my personal life. You know, when I started speaking on stages or getting on camera, I was always worried about, what if I make a mistake? What if I screw up? You know, how are people going to view me? Right. But the reality is when you go out there and you are your authentic self, you're being a little bit vulnerable, then people can relate to you because you're not trying to be somebody that you're not. Because we're not perfect, folks. We're not, none of us. So go out there and be the best version of you. And I'm not saying go out there and be some miserable, whiny bastard. I'm not suggesting that, because people really don't want to hear all your personal problems. Okay. So big differentiator. So when I say be vulnerable, I want you to be clear on what we're talking about. Be willing to fail. Go out there and be willing to look stupid once in a while in order for you to perfect the gifts that you've been given right? And you're going to have to go out and get some skills. Just because you've been given the gift to be a great writer or a great musician, that doesn't mean that you can't go out and continue to learn, because look, this is your gift. You've got to go out there and learn how to perfect this stuff. You've got to be the best version that you can, and that's going to require you to go get some skills. So I don't care if you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. It's never too late to go out there and learn the skills that are required to take you to the next level of your authentic self, to go out there and do what God intended all of you to do. All right. It's time for you to be you, right? Doubt is your enemy. Perfection is your enemy. Delaying action is your enemy. And especially the fear of other people's opinion is your enemy. You be you. Every time you take a step outside of your comfort zone, you expand it and grow. It's called the confidence competence loop. So every time you go out and do something that's a little bit scary, your comfort zone grows. It gives you the confidence because you've got the competence to know that you can do this. And the more you do those things that you fear, the confidence competence loop will help you achieve all the most amazing goals that you can think of, and to help you share your gifts with the world. So this week, folks, I challenge you to share your gifts with the world. The gift of you. Thanks for joining me this Monday morning. We will see you next Monday. And if I don't see you or talk to you, I hope everybody has a very happy holiday season. And hopefully I'll see you next Monday for Motivation Monday with me, Dave Luer. Thanks for joining me, guys.